Hello, welcome to Veritas. I'm your host, Adam Colazetti, and I'm here to guide you on a meditative adventure like no other. Join me and lose yourself in your imagination as we travel the outer reaches of the cosmos, quest for powerful talismans, and explore the inner realm of your subconscious. What might you find along the way? But be warned, fair traveler, this path is not for the faint of heart. On this path, of one thing I am certain, dragons be here. Are you ready? So how we're going to begin is you're going to sit comfortably, however that means to you. It could be legs crossed, could be sitting in a chair, whatever it is, sit somewhere comfortably that you feel relaxed and comfortable. And you're going to close your eyes and you're going to take 3 deep breaths. Deep breath in, count to 4. Deep breath out, count to 4. And each time you exhale, you're going to try and relax your body a little bit further. So you're going to inhale, pause, exhale. Pause. So as you're doing this and you're relaxing, it's in those pauses between breaths where we're going to go. That is where your creativity meets your imagination, meets your subconscious. So let's see what awaits you in the spaces between breaths.
There is always a moment of calm between one crisis and the next, where we gear down and acknowledge our own survival. Such it was on the ship as it bobs gently on calm seas again. You are the navigator. You look around at your fellow passengers a little wide-eyed. Without thinking about it, you slump to the deck, sitting for a moment. The exhaustion that comes after a high adrenaline rush has found you. In front of you, the mast leans awkwardly in a way that it definitely shouldn't. The crack running up the middle, a seemingly ominous metaphor for this journey. The captain lays quiet, a crowd of healers around him tending to him. There are some shouts from below deck as the sorceress and the scholar return from examining the hole in the hull. I guess we're taking on water too. It's all a little too much. You look up. The sky is quite pretty. The dark, angry clouds have dissipated for now and the sun is sitting lower on the horizon. You feel quite small, and for a moment you wonder what you are doing here. Whatever made you think you could face down the very forces of the universe? And then you see it. Land ahoy, you shout. Looming in the distance there is an island. But did it? No, your eyes must be deceiving you. You are the scholar. Below deck, the situation is grim. There is water coming in past your boots already and not slowing. The hole is too big to be simply plugged or repaired. As you walk up the stairs to share the bad news, you contemplate what to do. There is always a solution waiting. It just has to be found. You are the sorceress. You can lend your powers to mend the hole, but this will take some powerful earth magic and you cannot do it alone. You are the wind whisperer. There is calm now, but you know serious trouble when you see it. There's a lot of work to do here and you don't know where you can help. Leaning up against the side of the deck, you gaze out upon the ocean, and that's when you feel it. Another warning. Your eyes scan the sky. It is clear. Slowly you bring your gaze down to the horizon, and that's when you see it. The ship. It's coming this way and fast. If your ship has white sails and feels like hope, this one is the opposite of that. Its sails are black and unnatural. They don't seem to move with the wind. In fact, the entire ship is moving against the wind. This ship feels like desolation, destruction. It is closer now. The others have noticed and are standing up watching curiously. The wood on this ship is dark and rotten looking. There are no passengers save one. A single hooded figure dressed all in black stands ominously at the front of the boat. You are the wolf. Even from 200 yards away, you lock eyes with this stranger. You recognize a snake poised for a strike when you see it. It is those that look calm and bored before battle that are not to be trifled with. You steal a glance over to the wind whisperer and your eyes meet. They see it too. Turning back to the ship, you realize what you need to do. Your friends need time. They can heal the ship, but they need more time. You nod once at the wind whisperer and like a pointed weapon, you spring towards the railing and climb the edge with a single bound and leap out into the ocean. A flick of the wind whisperer's hand and an unnatural gust picks you up and you are flying. It is the most beautiful feeling, and for a moment you are lost in it. But then you land on the black ship. Not as graceful as you once were, the old wound screams out. But you don't even flinch. That pain is earned. It It is a part of you as natural as one of your arms, and it tells you that you are alive. You stand, and there facing you is the figure in black. You flex your fingers. The fear is there, that fear before battle. It is always there. Quietly you are terrified, but beneath that a fire rages, a dragon demanding to be released. And with a breath, you unleash the fire. The figure in black draws a black sword. For a moment all is still, and then the dance begins. You are the scholar. The black ship terrifies you, but your work is here. You can solve this, you can feel it. Think, just think. Clear your mind. You sit on the deck, cross-legged, and close your eyes. You see the water filling the lower decks. You see the ship sinking lower and lower in the water. You see the cracked mast and burnt sails. Triage. What can't you fix? The sails. Forget those. They're not salvageable. What can you fix? What's the first problem? The water. For the ship, the water is like poison, filling the decks. Poison comes in, it can also go out. How? Can you reverse it? No. Another exit then? Another hole? But where? Across? More water would come in. Another hole higher than the surface of the water. How to get the water out? Change the game. Move the water up. Tip the ship. How? Magic? The sorceress. You have a plan, now you need help. You try to catch the attention of the others, but they are each preoccupied. You need the crew to come together, and then you see unity. You are unity. You see the crew each consumed with one problem or many, each individually trying to save us all. You can feel the disconnects, and then you lock eyes with the scholar and you know, hope lies with them. Without thinking, you run to where the captain lays unconscious. The bison horde lies within his robes, glowing. You grab the horn and running to the middle of the deck, you slam it into the boards, embedding the pointed end. Simultaneously, all marking and sigils carved throughout the boat light up with blue energy. Your intention is clear. To me, you are the sprite, feeling desperate, and then you feel it, a call beckoning you, together as one. You can't help but smile as you step forward. 14 souls gather around unity. One more fights the black ship. One by one, hands are connected until a ring is made around unity. The scholar steps forward and makes their intentions clear. The sorceress and the craftsman will fix the ship. The healer, the mystic, and the shaman will heal the captain. The rest will assist as needed. You are the wolf. The figure in black moves impossibly fast. Each step a perfect execution of grace and intent. Sparks shower as swords cling together. 3 warriors moving as one. And then they make a mistake. One step too far to the left, and the wind whisperer slashes across his body, but he does not fall. Instead, he laughs as he pulls his hood back and reveals black eyes that are as dead as night. There is a shimmer, and then the figure in black seems to split in two, and where there was one, there are now 2 identical figures. They both grin even as they attack. The wolf strikes one figure down, only to see it split in 2. 3 now. The battle continues, and with every strike, the figures multiply. 4, 5, 6. You are the sorceress. You glance at the scholar one last time. You're sure? The scholar nods. With that, you calm your senses and open yourself up to the universe, earth and fire. Feel the elemental powers behind all of creation. Feel their power as you offer up yourself to the universe in exchange for this power. This is how magic works. Power has a cost. As you open your eyes, there's a flash, and a hole explodes out of the hull, wood splinters exploding in all directions. Now there are 2 holes. Without hesitation, you are running across the deck. The captain's limb form is fastened, and everyone moves to one side of the ship and grabs hold. The sorceress and the craftsman stand near the hole and get ready. You are the wave runner. It is your turn. Closing your eyes, you let yourself become one with the torrent of the ocean. You need a wave, a big one, and from beneath the seas you feel the energy come, building and building until it pierces the surface, and a large wave in the shape of a hand lifts the ship up and to the side. The crew hangs on for dear life as the ship is tipped, its sails nearly horizontal and touching the water. It is working. The water is pouring out, and before long the hull is dry once again. You are the craftsman. You reach into your pouch and pull out a handful of clay. With a nod to the sorceress, you slowly roll it together. As the sorceress closes her eyes, you feel the clay warm and begin to glow. You can feel the life within it. a perfect piece of the earth for which this world was made. You softly press it to the edge of the hole and feel it flow along the edges. You envision the hull like it was, smooth boards sealed together. Slowly the clay covers the entire circumference of the roughly circular hole and then begins to melt inwards. And then just like that, the hole is sealed and the ship is whole once again. Surprisingly, a new sigil appears on the new boards, glowing faintly. Another story told. You smile. One more hole to go. You are the wolf. You are exhausted. 6 versus 2 is wearing you down. Careful now not to strike, you care, fighting merely to survive. A quick glance back at the ship, and it is sideways? No matter, trust your crew. Exhaustion is there and the figure in black sees it. But you smile and for a second he hesitates. The dragon is loose within now and you walk the edge. But that's the thing. This is where you live. This is where you feel most at home, most alive. And with that, you smile at the edge and step across. But this edge is different. It is not an increase in speed or power or a second wind. It is an acceptance, a surrender to the will of the universe. With that, you sheath your sword and breathe in. The greatest warrior does not need to fight. They need only to learn to surrender to the will and energy of the universe and let it flow through. You close your eyes and just be. The dragon rages within you and you acknowledge that before releasing it. All that violence and chaos simply drains away like the rain after a fire. You feel peaceful. Every sense is fine-tuned and you can feel every hair on your arm. So when the figure in black moves, you feel them without seeing them. And they seem so slow. Where the black sword moves to strike, it suddenly finds air. You have moved an inch away. Left foot, step. Right hand, back. Lean back, duck. Right foot, step. Left foot, lie. Eyes closed, you dance as the universe wills, and you are untouchable. One by one, the 6 black figures come and they find nothing but air. Even as they cry out in frustration, their forms begin to fade as their light burns out. Without the energy of chaos and violence, they have no energy to feed. Then there is only one. The figure in black nods once in salute and then vanishes. The peace and beauty of moving in perfect harmony with the universe is a feeling to be cherished, but it is time to go. The black figure is vanished, and the black ship begins to sink beneath the waves. You are the scholar. You feel hopeful. The holes in the ship are fixed and it is righted again. The craftsman and the sorceress are just finishing up repairing the cracked mast, and the wolf and wind whisperer return, landing gracefully. Still no sails, though. You are the shaman. The captain lays quietly in slumber. You've done all you can. His body is healed, but his soul does not want to return. You look questioningly at the mystic. There is a way. You lay your hands on the captain's head. You can feel their soul. It is wandering in a dream. You need to unite the body, mind, and soul. It is dangerous to join another's dream, but slowly you let his dream meld with your own. Silently you call to him, letting your voice and your thoughts be his guide. You are the wave runner. On deck you can feel hope within the crew once more. The bison horn is glowing brightly, still impaled on the deck where Unity left it. Beyond that, the black ship sinks beneath the waves and there is a shift. The currents have reversed. You peer over the side of the ship. The waves are growing ever slowly. Where the black ship disappeared beneath the waves, water is beginning to swirl as a hole in the surface of the ocean begins to become visible, pulling the waves and anything on it towards it like a circling drain. The sky grows dark, lightning flashes, and with that, the captain's eyes open.
Kyle Craik, welcome to Veritas. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited. Thanks for having me.
We've had a lot of fun here on Veritas. We talk about truth. Whose truth? Well, hopefully your truth. If you didn't catch the first episode in the prologue, we're on a pirate ship. There's battles waging. There's lightning striking. There's a lot going on, so definitely check it out. But we just finished part 2. Before we get into that, let's draw a card and see what happens.
All right. I'm feeling pulled over here this time. Oh, this one is the unicorn. Indulge your creative, imaginative, and magical side through some form of artistic expression.
Okay, you're the unicorn.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, that resonates. Yeah,
Okay, so part one, kind of getting to know kind of the landscape, kind of getting to know everybody. There's a bit of a crisis that was averted, and now part two, you got to sort of deal with the aftermath. What do you think of part two?
yeah, I loved it. There's a lot of hope that I'm starting to feel through the story now. Where in the first part, it's a lot of chaos, it's a lot of like just panic and trying to figure things out. Whereas like now you're starting to feel that there's some trust and there's some hope that the characters are feeling.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the idea that there's all these problems. Like it's too much, and like this group is dealing with that problem, and that group is over there, but it's fragmented, right?
Yeah.
And then of course the Unity character, that's their role, is to bring everybody together.
Yeah.
Right in that moment.
Yeah, it's like thinking back to part one where I was floating back and forth between all these different characters and trying to figure out like which one resonated the most with me. In this one, I could definitely feel myself feeling more connected to one particular character, which was the wolf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the warrior, right?
Yeah.
It's the martial arts stuff. But yeah, the wolf, of course, sees what needs to happen and is like, okay, this is where I live. And then so him and the wind whisperer, who's kind of also warrior, they jump over there and they get to work, right? But it doesn't go as they think. Even though they seem to be winning at first, they're slowly losing, right? So
Yeah.
what'd you think of how that played out?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because I found myself relating back to life again, as I typically do. But it's this idea that the harder you fight isn't always the solution, right? Sometimes the harder you fight, the bigger the problem gets, the more resistance you face. Whereas, as we saw, like when they actually start to realize that when they're just at peace with the universe, when they start to just trust themselves, trust their movement, you see there's nothing the other side has nothing to fight for anymore. They realize that I can't compete with this.
Right.
And I think that's a really beautiful kind of symmetry to life, right? Sometimes the harder we fight, the harder it becomes, the more resistance you face. You just bring more resistance. Sometimes we just have to let go and trust the process. Is kind of what that brought to me.
I definitely used some of my martial arts background as inspiration for that scene, right? Like, the greatest warrior like doesn't need a weapon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't need it. They've learned how to destroy, and as a result, they also know now how to heal and how to create. And
Yeah.
they just kind of like drop the sword, just surrender, and you're anyway. I agree with you. I just think it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah. And there's this really beautiful kind of balance between this like almost masculine energy and feminine energy happening on the ship, where you kind of needed both in that situation. You needed that masculine energy to go and like fight and to like take charge and take control of this problem, this challenge that we're facing. But then you also needed this kind of togetherness and this nurturing at the ship. And together those two things started to create a solution, right?
Yeah. Totally, right? We definitely need action, but then you need also to like kind of let it flow, right?
Yeah.
I can't solve the problem. Do you know what I mean? I can't fix the hole, so what else can I do, right? Like, how can I change my mindset so I can picture this differently? And the solution of tipping the ship on its side and like pouring the water out it's kind of insane.
Yeah, right?
Right? But it's kind of where they got to.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's also, to me, what I kept thinking back to is you needed both. You couldn't just have one. You couldn't just have the people fighting, the characters fighting. And you also couldn't just have the people at the ship who are trying to solve that solution. You needed both in order for it to all work.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Everybody comes together. And what I like about that is like the captain's down for the count. Captain's supposed to be like the trusted leader that's going to direct everybody, but they're out of the picture for the moment. So everyone's got to like
figure it out.
Yeah, that resonated
Right?
with me as well. Yeah.
Kind of like, okay, you know, when life calls, are you going to be able to step up and do what you need to do? Right?
Well, and even for the captain too, if you think about, like I think about myself in the captain situation, how hopeless you must feel in that situation where you're like, this is my ship, I'm supposed to be the one in charge, and I can't do anything. Well, there's power to knowing that the people that you have around you have kind of got it. Right? Because that takes, that's probably going to take maybe some pressure off the captain when he wakes up and realizes all this stuff that's gone on, and these people were able to help with it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. Again, back to, business, right? Leadership, it all
100%.
kind of plays in. But, okay, fantastic. Well, we're going to see where it goes next. So
Yeah.
stay
Can't
tuned.
wait.
Join me each week as a new chapter unfolds. What worlds will we explore next? What gods and monsters will we find? What part of yourself will awaken? Only one way to find out.